Hello students, today we will start our next chapter, that is introduction to email. Okay, so what is email? Email stands for electronic mail. In today's digital communication era, email or electronic mail proves to be the biggest asset in sending and receiving message from one computer to another. Why it is considered as an biggest asset? Because it allows us to communicate very quickly with people around the world at any time. It is also very economical. It facilitates to send the same message to more than 100 people at the cost of only local phone call. It also helps in reducing the wastage of paper. It takes very much lesser time. It is secure. All those things are available with email. That's why it is considered as the biggest asset of today's communication. Okay. Now, what are the applications of email that helps the email to be considered as the biggest asset? First one is cost of sending an electronic message is nominal. Okay, so the cost of sending an email is very much nominal. Next is messages are sent and received instantly. Next is emails are sent and received instantly. So the time taken by an email to reach to the receiver is very much nominal. Okay. Next is emails never get lost and do not reach the wrong destination. If your address is right, if you type the destination email address properly, then email never get lost and do not reach the wrong destination. Next is email allows us to be in touch with the people who are staying far away in no time. So suppose we are living in India and some of our friend is living in a different country. So if we want to connect them, we can connect to them through email without any time. Okay, or within very much lesser time. Next, we can attach pictures, videos, sounds to our emails and can send this to anyone across the globe. So in formal letter, we can attach only some photos with those letters. Okay, but in email we can attach digital pictures, videos, or even the sounds to our emails, and we can send those to anyone across the world. Okay. Next, we can read, print, forward, reply, delete, or even save the received message. So with the received message or received email, we can have a lot of options like read, print, forward, reply, delete, or save, etc. Next, email is usually packaged with many productivity tools such as address book, calendar, instant messenger, and more for convenience. Next, email provides the customer verification required to use the other web services like social networking, online shopping, etc. Okay, so through using the email ID or through the email ID, social networking site or any online shopping site can verify your identity through the email ID. Next, email can be accessed anywhere at any time on any computer or mobile device that has internet connection. Okay, so suppose you are living in Delhi and currently you are staying in Kolkata. So you can have your email right at you if you are having a smartphone on and an internet connection. Okay, so the virtual address supports the flexibility of your location. Okay. Next, email account. What is email account? Email account is an electronic mailbox on a network where emails can be sent. So email account is the address where the emails should be sent. Okay. An email account acts as a virtual address for email messages. Okay, so what I have just told, an email account acts as a virtual address for email messages. It is provided to you by your email account provider, suppose Gmail, Rediff Mail, etc. and contacts, it contains information about our username, email account provider, password, email settings, etc. Okay. So to read or download those emails, we must supply our account name and password to the web browser. Okay. So what is email address? Email address is the name that uniquely identifies an email account on a network. Suppose at our home we live 6 people. Okay, suppose we live 6 people. So all the address, the address of all those 6 people are same. But so how can we differentiate by them? Differentiate them by their name. So if email account is the address, then email address is the unique identification or unique name for every email account. Okay. It has two parts. First one is the username and second one is the domain name. Suppose the email ID, the example given on the book, keeps publishing world@gmail.com. So keeps publishing world is the username and gmail.com is the domain name, where Gmail is the domain name and .com is the domain extension. So what is username? The username is the name of a person's account, which can be an actual name or alphanumeric string. Next is domain name. What is domain name? Domain name is the location of the person's account on the internet separated by a period. It is basically the website name of the email service provider. Suppose if I am using the Gmail or Google Mail email service provider, then the domain name will be gmail.com. Gmail. If I am using the Rediff one, then the domain name will be Rediff Mail. Sometimes it becomes Yahoo Mail, etc. So these are the domain name. Next is the domain extension. Domain extension is specified after the domain name and it indicates the type of an organization. Suppose .com stands for a commercial organization, .edu stands for educational organization, etc. Next is email program. For using web based email, one needs to first register with an email service provider in order to get a free account. Okay. So some of the well known web based email services are gmail.com, yahoo.com, msn.com, etc. Okay. So to use those email ID, what we have to do? We have to create a login with a username and password. Then using this email ID, we can log into the web based email and we can create, send, receive, forward and delete emails using this email program. Okay. Next is the email message format. So what is the email message format? Email message is having the following format. You can see in the figure the email message format. This is how an email message format looks like. It has the following options like from, to, subject, CC, BCC and message body. From means the email address of the sender. To means the email address of the recipient or the receiver. The subject column contains the topic of the message. Next is CC part. CC stands for carbon copy. List of email addresses to whom the mail has to be sent. Okay. All the recipients of the mail can see the address in to and CC. Next is BCC. BCC stands for blind carbon copy. This also contains the list of multiple recipients, but the receiver cannot see the other recipients addresses in the BCC list. Okay. So how can we create an email account? Suppose we are creating an email. Suppose we have to create an email account using the gmail.com. Okay. So first we have to connect to internet, then we have to open the website www.gmail.com. Now we have to click on the create account link and proceed to the next page. A registration form will appear. We have to fill the registration form and then we have to choose a username and a password. Okay. Then we have to click on the checkbox, accept the agreement. An email account gets created if all the entries have been filled properly. After creating an email account, it can be used to send and receive emails to use the email account. Okay. So To use the email account, we should or we must log in with the username and the password. Next is inbox. What is inbox? Inbox displays the information about all the received mails. Okay, so each email messages a user receives are stored inside the inbox folder. Okay. Next is compose or write mail. To send a mail or to write a mail, one has to click on the compose option or any other similar option provided by the website. Okay, so it will open a new window with the components given on the next page. So what are the components of a compose or write mail window? First one is to, where we have to type the email address of the person to whom we are sending the email. Okay. Next is CC. CC stands for the carbon copy. In this field, one can specify the address of the person to whom one wants to send a copy of that mail. Okay. So suppose we want to send a copy of that particular mail to any other person also, and we want to make sure that all the recipients should see each other, then we have to specify the address in the CC field. Okay. Next is BCC. BCC stands for blind carbon copy. It is also used to send a copy of the mail to several people. But in this BC, if we are typing the or providing the email address of the other recipients in the BCC column, then the recipients won't be able to see each other's email address. Okay. Next is subject. Subject is the brief description of the mail which gives an idea about the content of the message. And last one is message. The message contains the actual message, just like a normal letter with greetings or one more paragraphs and the name at the bottom. Okay. We can also format the text using the available features. There are several formatting features available in the Gmail. Okay. Next is sending an email. How can we send an email? To send an email, after composing an email, we have to click on the send button. Then the mail will be sent to the recipients specified in the to and CC or BCC column. Okay. Next, how can we attach a file to a mail? The email provides the facility to attach files for high speed delivery anywhere in the world. Attaching a file to an email is an easy way to send important documents or files, which can be photographs, videos, music or text. Okay. So to attach a file to an email, we have to follow few steps. First one is we have to click on the attach a file icon, that is the paper clip icon on the toolbar at the bottom of the compose window. Okay. So every compose window is having a toolbar at the bottom of its window, and there you can find the attach a file icon that looks like a paper clip. Okay. Now the open dialog box will appear. From that open dialog box, we have to browse through our files and select the file that we want to attach to that mail. Next, after selecting that file or selecting that particular file or more than one file, we can click on the open button. Whenever after selecting, we are clicking on the open button, the file gets attached to the email. Now we have to simply click on the send button to send that mail or send the mail with those attachments. Okay. Now the Gmail does not allows us to send or to attach some files that are larger than 25 MB. Either you can attach the file less than 25 MB. Okay. So a single file that is having the size of more than 25 MB cannot be sent through an email, or several files. If you want to add several files and the combined size of those several files are larger than 25 MB, then a message will be shown that you cannot attach or the file size is exceeding 25 MB. Okay. So nowadays the internet provides some emerging technologies that enables us to transfer files beyond 25 MB. Okay. So some of the most popular services are like WeTransfer and SendSpace, etc. Now how can we reply and forward an email? The reply option is displayed when we open an email. Okay. So whenever we are open any email that we have received, the reply option is displayed by default. It is used to reply received email. We simply have to click on the reply button, type the text, and if we click on the send button, that the reply will be sent to the concerned authority. Okay, and the forward option is used to send any received email to other email addresses. Okay, so these are the basic functions of email. So listen to the video properly, read your book carefully. We will meet in our next class. Thank you and have a nice day.